Even though the UFC is regarded as the best MMA promotion with the highest caliber of fighters, there are still plenty of fighters outside the promotion who dominate in their respective divisions. In this video today, we're gonna take a look at 3 fighters that Dana White and the UFC should sign immediately, and we'll also break down the best debut matchup for each of them. This is DBD Fight Club. Welcome back. Patchy Mix, aka No Love, is the current bantamweight champion of the Bellator MMA promotion. He boasts an impressive record of 19-1 with a 79% finish rate. 13 of those victories have come by way of submission and 2 by way of knockout. Although his record is submission heavy, Patchy Mix is a tall, strong, and formidable fighter on the feet, constantly standing square to his opponents and controlling the center of the ring. He's lightning quick and has the ability to knock out his opponents with swift precision.
Oh, he's out. A monster shot. Oh, and Patchy Mix has...
While his striking is impressive, his exceptional ground game is what truly distinguishes him. Patchy Mix has the ability to out-wrestle his opponents, and his submissions are nothing shy of phenomenal, using his tall and strong frame to advance himself in favorable positions on the ground. In almost every fight of his career, he was able to take his opponents back, rightfully earning the moniker of the human backpack of the Bellator promotion.
He is in deep trouble. He's gonna go out.
Patchy Mix!
Once he latches on and hooks his legs and arms around his opponents, a submission is surely expected to occur. Patchy Mix suffered his only career loss to Juan Truleta in 2020, but since then went on a 6-fight win streak with all but one coming by way of finish, and was victorious in the $1 million Bellator Bantamweight Grand Prix, and even earned the Bantamweight belt. The UFC has a stacked Bantamweight division, with current champion Sugar Sean O'Malley sitting on the throne. There are several interesting matchups for the Bellator champ, but the debut matchup I would set up would be against the undefeated Umar Nurmagomedov. The Dagestani fighter is a master of sport and combat sambo who is incredibly dangerous on the ground and poses a real threat to anyone at 135 pounds. The two have comparable records and similar styles, and I think a fight between Patchy Mix and Nurmagomedov would bring out the best in their wrestling. I believe this would be the best debut matchup for Patchy No Love Mix to earn his stripes and cement himself in the UFC's bantamweight division.
Black Panther, Lozen Keita!
Lozen Keita is one of the hottest fighters in Europe right now. The 26-year-old is the current featherweight champion of the up-and-coming European MMA promotion Octagon. The Czech Republic-based promotion has been making strides in the European MMA scene by putting on fantastic shows and promoting their fighters extremely well. He is also the former lightweight champion of the promotion, but decided stepping down would be an option as he was hoping to reach double belt status.
The
Black Panther is known throughout the promotion and the rest of Europe as a heavy-handed, dangerous striker. His record currently stands at 12-1 with a 71% finish rate, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. His striking is beyond impressive, as Keita is a dominant force in the cage, controlling his opponents as he sees fit. He has the ability to stand just outside his opponent's range, and his constant feints and stance switches make him hard to read and even harder to hit. Explosive is just one word to describe his striking, as when he sees an opportunity he launches forward and lands a barrage of strikes. What looks like wild swinging at times I would describe as controlled chaos, and his success in the striking department is evident in his impressive 84% significant strikes landed.
He really changed. Nice body kick. And he lands.
He's jumped it! He's jumped it! Huge!
His wrestling and takedown defense is also worth mentioning, but it's his aggressive fighting style that has made him into a promising European prospect, and his vocal personality has resulted in a large following, in which his supporters would go berserk once Keita gets his hands raised. Lozen Keita will be a superstar in the coming years, and I believe he could seriously be a top contender in the UFC. I do think he needs to be paired up with another striker, and the debut matchup I would set up would be against Edson Barbosa. Their striking is both dangerous and explosive, and I'm certain a fight between the two would be an absolute banger. Given their hype and status, they could be paired up on any featured prelim, or open up the main card on a big European UFC pay-per-view main event. This would be a great introduction for fans around the world to discover the Black Panther, Lozen Keita.
first round for the... Oh!
Vadim Nemkov has been on the fans' radar for quite some time now. The Russian fighter is the former light heavyweight champion of Bellator, and since the acquisition of the promotion by their rival PFL in late 2023, has recently moved up to heavyweight. Nemkov's current record is 18-2, 14 of those victories coming by way of finish. Under the wing of heavyweight legend Fedor Emelianenko, Vadim has remained undefeated in 7 years with notable wins over Phil Davis, Corey Anderson, Yoel Romero, and former UFC light heavyweight Ryan Bader.
Something out of Nemkov.
Nemkov is a master of sport and combat sambo, and it's evident in his wrestling and ground game. He is incredibly dominating on the ground, and tends to throw some vicious ground and pound strikes to soften his opponents up. And as they try to break away, Nemkov finds a way to grab a hold of them and choke them out.
He's got that.
Despite his background in wrestling, a majority of his wins have come by way of knockout. Nemkov is an exceptional striker with fast combinations in both his hands and legs. Nemkov throws a 1-2 combination often and lands with utter accuracy, and his rear low and high kick is something to admire, as he has the ability to break down the limbs of his opponents or even knock them down and out. Vadim Nemkov has indicated that he intends to stay at heavyweight, and while I prefer him at 205, I think he has a chance to do as well in both weight classes. For his UFC debut, if Nemkov were to fight at light heavyweight, I'd like to see him paired up with another striker and wrestler such as Nikita Krylov. If he's firm at fighting at heavyweight, I'd like to see him fight Alexander Volkov. All three fighters have their differences and similarities in style, but I think given their popularity in the Eastern European regions, a fight for Nemkov against either of these two UFC fighters might produce a fight of the night contender. What do you guys think about the three fighters mentioned in this video? Who else do you think should be featured in the next one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is DBD Fight Club, and we'll see you next time.